Trading can be very uncomfortable when you have no action or nothing to do. You're just sitting around doing maybe absolutely nothing. You're patiently waiting, but a lot of people do not like that. In this video, I'm going to share with you some insights behind the uncomfortable part behind no action when it comes to trading and how actually doing more things can create some problems when it comes to trading. Now, if you're brand new here, I'm Sasha, the options coach. Been teaching people to trade options for over the last 15 years, and I've got a lot of different classes and things you can take a look at if you're interested more about diving deeper into options trading. Now, in this video here, a lot of people, they're really into, hey, I want to do something. I want to take action. A lot of people like to tinker when it comes to trading, especially the more skill sets that you actually learn. The more you kind of want to do something. And this goes along with our natural human instincts as well. Like when we do something, when we actually have a form of action or a feel of doing something, we have a sense of purpose. So in trading, okay, if you don't do anything, the brain itself, it says, I want a purpose. So it says, okay, well, let's put a trade on. Let's put on this trade. Let's put on a vertical spread. Let's buy some shares of stock because I'm really not doing much of anything right now. So, in a regular job environment, if you go in and you go to work, you have a sense of purpose. Hey, I'm working on the spreadsheet. I'm working on the marketing material. And now you feel like, okay, I'm getting stuff done. So when we start looking at a trading screen over here and I start taking a look, okay, well, yeah, I've got these positions going and cooking and they're profitable for overall the positions, but maybe negative for the day. Okay, so now my brain is saying, well, maybe I should go out and do something with this. Maybe I need to go out and buy some shares of something. I'm not, because me as a human, I'm not really doing anything. And the brain is saying, well, you're not really doing much. You're just sitting around doing nothing. You could be doing something more, making more money or putting on positions. So now you start going in, okay, well, let me buy 10 shares of eBay. And maybe that's the wrong choice, but because this is what happens is that now your brain, it feels like a sense of purpose. So you're giving it something, you're feeding that hunger, but it may not be the right thing to do. In the same way that, you could feed your brain with tons of, or you could feed your body with tons of junk food, sugary drinks and soda. I mean, you name it, junk. If you're eating a whole bunch of junk food, you could feed your body, but it may not be the right type of foods that's necessary because, hey, you're just trying to sustain yourself. And this is the same thing, that the brain is craving something. Hey, maybe I should put some trades on, but it might be the right approach to just wait a little bit. Whereas, hey, we don't need to go in and place that trade every single day. You could go in and do it, skip a day and do it the next day. So it's an important thing to recognize because a lot of people, they can't always sit still and, just let the trade do its thing. Now, the other thing what happens when you place a trade is that placing a trade gives you a form of an illusion of control. So when you place a trade, you're somewhat, okay, well, hey, my portfolio might be losing. Well, if I place this next one, I could kind of control it and make it up, let's say on eBay. So let's say I'm losing a bit of money on one position, but I could try and make it up with somewhere else. It goes the same with if you're trying to manage, let's say, an options position. So let's say you have these different positions and okay, and then this position right here, which is PayPal. This one in total is down about $3,000. This is a paper account, but the point is that, hey, we're losing some money. So if I go in and place a trade here on PayPal, you might say, okay, well, if I'm going in on the PayPal side, why don't I go and say, I'm going to sell a covered call on it. And this gives me a form of control that now I can control a little bit more of my outcome. And by selling this call, bam, we'll go in and now I'm able to do that. Now that might be the wrong approach because the stock might be oversold. And if it bounces, I would have been maybe better off to just sit without the calls, allowing that stock to keep going. And if you don't know what a call is basically, I'm predetermining that the stock will sell at a higher price. And then I'll get rid of those 100 shares at that price. But if it doesn't get there, then I get the premium that I sell it for. In either case, that's the thing, is that in some cases, it gives me a sense of control by doing this. I, in fact, could say, well, I'll sell an extra one as well. So I'll go in here, I'll sell this next one. And now I've got 2 calls against 100 shares. And I'm somewhat controlling my delta. I'm controlling the position. I could even go and sell another one. and we're selling a little extra and beyond. This would require a level 4 options privilege, and it's a little more aggressive. So now it's not a covered call anymore. We're managing deltas. So definitely a lot more work than for a normal person. But the point is that now I feel more in control. I'm taking action on my delta. I'm doing something. I'm putting trades on. But again, it may not be the right approach. Sometimes sitting tight, allowing that stock to come back and work its way through, could be the better approach. Okay, third thing that I want to mention to you is that waiting feels like you are missing out. So sometimes when you're just sitting and the market's just chopping around, you might be just waiting and you feel like, ah, man, I'm missing out. And the reason you might do that is because if you start looking at, let's just say we look at a scan and we start looking at some shares over here. Well, there's certain stocks that are constantly moving. Like, for example, in the current day, what we've got, and I'm just sorting it by percent change. What we've got right now is we've got some stocks that are kind of moving, right? And you might say, okay, well, these positions that I'm looking at, like, hey, Robinhood is up 5.5% or so. We've got AMD, shares of AMD also up quite significantly. So that's the leveraged one. But Shopify also up 3%. Say, hey, well, I'm missing out. Why don't I put on a trade? Rocket Labs also up. So you start looking through some of these things, or you're starting to look at the market, things are happening. And, and you're starting to say, well, I'm missing out on some of these positions. And if you like going short, you might say the opposite, where you're saying, okay, well, I could have been short some of these positions and making money on the short side. So, selling the stock first, buying it back later. Again, you feel like you're missing out a little bit. And this is where, you start putting on positions and trades that might be less favorable. So, for example, like let's say you see a stock that's moving and you say, hey, Shopify right here, SHOP, is moving up really well, or MRVL. XYZ, that they're pushing, and you might say, look, I want to get XYZ because it's moving, it's pushing. I've been watching it for a while, and you buy these shares, and it might be at a higher price, or a higher price than you're normally used to, and you say, okay, well, I'm going to buy 50 shares, and you get in it, and then you're forcing this trade to push yourself because you feel like, hey, I'm missing out. And then tomorrow, the next day, or the next week, this thing rolls over and sells off, simply because you're doing nothing right now. And because your impatience is pushing you to go in and get those shares. And now you've got these XYZ shares. Let's see what we've got right here. Now, at the moment, they're breaking even, right? Because we just put the trade on. But what if it starts pulling back next week? And it's because of today's inaction, you felt compelled to put those items on, and then it just starts to roll over later next week, and now you've got a losing trade because of that, lacking the patience, or because we wanted to push that trade further. So again, another problem that occurs when you have inaction, when you're looking to do something and you're pushing these trades because you feel like, hey, I'm missing out of something. There's a lot of trades that are working. There's a lot of people, hey, maybe you're looking at social media saying, oh, I'm winning on this trade, or these are the trades I'm doing. And all of a sudden you feel like you got to push yourself to get into a trade, and you go ahead and do it, only to see it later roll over. Okay, next little point I want to make is that trades turn into emotional regulation. And what I mean by this is that, similar to the last point, is that in fact, that if you have an emotional issue, not necessarily an issue, but if you're on one side or another, like let's say you're feeling, I chatted about this a little bit in another section, but if you're feeling a little bit more bored, okay, you might go in and place a little bit of trades on because, hey, I'm bored. I'm going to go fix my boredom. Okay. The other thing is if you've got anxiety, okay, if you're not in the flow channel, if you've got a little bit of anxiety, you say, oh man, well, I don't like that position. I'm going to try to fix it with another position. That's another way that you might be able to handle those things. And you start regulating your emotions because of that. It also might be that you're in your higher self, where you're like, hey, I feel really good. And beyond the higher self, you get into euphoria, where it's like, this is amazing. Oh my God, this stock's making me a fortune. Or just like you feel good about yourself. Maybe something else happened in your life. So you say, well, I'm just going to buy, put in half of my money into gold or silver, or this tech company, or this thing right here. And that can also be a little bit damaging. But what's happening then is you're using your emotions, you're trading as an emotional regulator. You're trying to offset things. You're saying, okay, well, let me compensate for what I have mentally, emotionally over here, my feelings, and by placing this trade on over here. And this is where, as you can see, can become very dangerous, because now what you've got is you've got these positions cooking simply because of you didn't do something more logical, tactical, thought provoking. You did it more because to compensate for your feelings. And sometimes those trading things do not work out well. And I've talked about trading success in the past from other videos where, the method, the strategy, it's important. The money management also quite important. But what happens is that the mindset is just as important as that, if not even more important, once you learn the strategy. And you have to be able to compensate that on the emotional intelligence side. Anyways, this is from one of our classes there. We've got a ton of other classes there. If you're interested, just check out the website on the links down below, so you can take a look, because we've got a ton of material. Anyways, point being is that all of these things, people just feel like, hey, I got to do something. I've got to put on a trade because of the emotions, and they're trying to regulate those things, and it doesn't usually turn out well. So those are a couple of tips and insights that you may want to think about and take a look at regarding your trading, that if you feel like you've got no action going on, and you say, hey, you know what, well, I'm not doing much, what am I gonna do? Okay, well, now you're getting bored. Well, do something else. Whether shoot, play a video game, go play an instrument. It's one of the reasons why I do coaching sessions, like, with people. We chat, I work with people. Sometimes, I do my trading, and then I get away from that and do some coaching sessions. That way I don't have to focus on the screen all the time, because stepping back allows those trades to work, allows them to cook, mature. Let them cook. I mean, that's the thing. They need to work. The theta needs to kick in if you're doing theta trades. The price needs to move if you're doing price related trading. So they need to work and do what they need to do. You need to let them mature. And for everybody, they cope with it differently. So whatever method works for you, that's a good thing. Take a step back. You don't have to always trade. Being and reframing yourself from saying, hey, being patient is a form of action. You're being patient in that regard. So but a lot of people, they want to tinker, they want to play, and the brain wants a purpose, like, hey, I got to do something, I got to do something. And and somehow you have to figure out how to fill that void. I film some videos, do coaching classes, that type of thing. And for you have to find your own way, because as those emotions creep in, and these just natural human instincts start to impact you, you're going to start pushing those trades, not because they were tactical or the right thing to do, but because your natural human instincts or body is craving it, and you're going to place them on, in the same way that people want to eat a little bit junk food here and there. And it's not too bad here and there. And that's why I say sometimes just put on a trade on a paper platform, or put on a single one share position. When you do small size, I mean, it's not going to damage your account, but it will fulfill that void. So again, use some principles and techniques to be able to fill those voids without damaging the account. You don't have to trade big or large. So anyways, I hope that helps, gives you a little insight. If you're interested to chat a little bit further about your trading, just book a call there on our website. Link's going to be in the description down below. And of course, you can always check out some of the classes that I've got going on. Maybe I'll see you on one of the future classes, or we might get a chance to even work together. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Truly appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the week ahead, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.